Bruh.
Oh, great. The bruh noise is still there. How the fuck do I get rid of that? God damn it. I thought I turned that off. So, it's been a little bit. I haven't streamed in a hot minute. I've been busy. I'm working on a lot of new stuff. Really excited about it. But for now, have this fun stream that is going to stumble into your Twitch inbox. So today I got with me Boogie. Say hello.
What on?
Boogie.
What on, so?
Yeah. What up? Boogie. He actually played Tebow on iCarly.
Indeed.
Indeed. And I somehow managed to get him on stream with me while I speedrun the iCarly video game. Boogie, do you know anything about speedrunning at all?
I'm not familiar, man. I'm excited to learn.
Okay, so I don't know who started it for the life of me, but somebody was like, you know what would be crazy is if everybody started playing games, but like the fastest that they could. Whoever can beat a video game fastest gets like the world record for that game. And for the longest time, it was just, popular games everybody was playing. And I randomly just kind of busted this out one day on my stream, and I was like, I'm going to speedrun this. And now here we are. Now I do this every once in a while. I break out this game, and I try to beat my old time.
Love it.
Somebody, a good friend of mine, Silo Simon, currently holds the world record on this game, and I cannot beat him. So maybe I'll be able to beat him on this stream live with you on call. That might be happening tonight. I don't know.
Let's go.
All right. So, chat, any ideas for the names of the file this week? Any ideas? Also, if you guys have any questions for Boogie, feel free to type them in chat. If I don't find any good ones, I have some pre-made ones, just in case you guys are idiots, like you usually are. So yeah, how's your day going, man?
Man, listen. I love life, so it's always a good day, I downloaded some new games. Yesterday, got this new game called Vampire. I'm gonna get into that heavy once you and I are finished here.
Oh yeah.
Saturday Night Live's coming on later, so it's good. Listen, it's a great day.
Awesome,
you, man. What's going on with you today? How's your day?
My day is going great. I made some turkey meatballs earlier, and those were delicious. I love that.
What'd you eat it with?
What I eat it with?
Yeah,
I had some mashed potatoes, I got some oregano and stuff like that. All that good shit.
Hell yeah. Now, can you cook? Or is it like something that you just kind of threw together? Or did you did you put your foot into it? Like, what do you say turkey meatballs? Walk me through that. What's that look like when you're making turkey meatballs?
Well, okay, so cook is a strong word because...
That's right, that's what I need to know. I need to know what we're talking about here.
I'm a shitty cook. I'm such a bad cook. It's not even funny. And I fucking don't know how to cook, but my girlfriend does. So she's been teaching me how to cook. And that's kind of been like our thing lately. We get together and we cook together. And yeah. So that's pretty much it. We have a fun time, but it is fun.
That's really cool because eating is it's that bring together moment, right? Over good food, good conversation, so get a couple LOLs with it, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
For me to sit here, you say, yeah, my girlfriend's been teaching me how to cook. Yeah, that's what's up. That's good. That's good.
I'm just like I'm stoked to be learning to cook, man. It's been the longest time since I've really sat down and been able to cook.
Hey.
So shit's great. I'm having a really fun time with it.
Yeah. See, I grew up cooking,
Oh yeah?
I'm an only child. Yeah, only child. My mom worked a lot. At some point, you get tired of microwave dinners, man. I just started experimenting.
Oh yeah?
I'd cook stuff and then throw it away just to see if I could make it. So that's really how I got into cooking. Like, I love to cook. So cooking for people is what I really love to do. Just to watch the look on people's face when they eat something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess now everybody's saying to name the file Tebow, so I'm just gonna do that. Why not? This is gonna be our first run. Normally runs for these games go on for like 30 minutes, so we're gonna do a couple of runs tonight, see how it goes, and hopefully make some magic happen. I'm hoping.
Got this. We got this.
All right. So let's start it up, chat. All right. So if I remember correctly, and we're off. All right. So chat, last time I streamed this game, I beat my personal best. I'm doing much better on this weird ass journey. But now I got a couple of notes in front of me, so that way I know all the shit that I messed up on last time, and hopefully we can get a world record tonight. Who knows? So let's start off with a couple of questions real quick. Since you know we have you, might as well. Let me just do this little mini game real quick, and I'll get those questions that I have prepared. All right. So first question, I want to ask, how did you get into acting initially?
Man, I was so I'm an only child. And I come from a period where they didn't have acronyms for things like ADD and ADHD. Right, so if you were hyperactive, they just called you bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my mom, knowing I had all this energy, she just had me in everything possible. So from sports, I did everything from baseball, soccer, basketball, football, track. I was in everything. And then in school, you know, I was always the class clown. Mm-hmm. So in the effort for the teachers to kind of channel that in the right way, we're like, you know, I think the first play we did in school was Grease.
Oh, Grease?
Grease, the movie Grease.
That right? Was the first play I was ever in my school.
Who did you play?
I played like a background character who was snapping. Like, you know what I mean? Who'd you play?
You were one of the greasers?
Yeah, I was one of the greasers, one of those guys in the back that snaps his hands.
So I got a chance to be in this play. Now, this was one of my favorite films growing up, right? I love John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in this movie, right? So you have to couple this, Salty, with the fact that I'm one of the only black people, one of only 2-3 black people in the entire school. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm in Greece. So everybody was like, you know, I was the funny guy. So from that, I continued to like be in like town plays, and I started doing stand-up comedy at a very young age.
Yeah.
So that just continued to kind of spread my wings, and this is all, you know, I'm from Ohio, small town in Ohio called Youngstown, an hour and a half northeast of Cleveland. So it all kind of started in Youngstown, man.
So who did you end up playing in Grease, do you know?
Oh yeah, so the first time we did Grease, I got a chance to be Danny Zuko. Right?
Oh really?
Then, yeah, I was Danny. I killed it, bro. I killed that.
I could imagine.
Now, when we get to high school, you know, it's political now, right? So they let this other guy be, you know, Danny Zuko, and I ended up being the teen angel. So I got a chance to sing the Beauty School Dropout song.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Are you saying that you put on multiple different versions of Grease throughout your life?
Yeah, well, the first one we did was, I think we were like in second grade, right? And so then, you know, you go through middle school, you know, junior high, elementary, middle school, junior high. Then once we got to high school, then they were doing it in high school this many years later. Now,
interesting.
Like,
okay.
You know, here we go.
So you thought you had it like handled. You were like, all right, I'm going to get it.
Not even. Because the guy that they were talking about giving it to, this guy stuttered really, really bad. Bad. Like, bad. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, they're not going to give it to him. But then I started hearing like people going, yeah, they're going to give it to him. They're going to give it to him. And at that point I went, okay, something else is going on.
I mean, I think he probably like, maybe he was just like a really, really good actor from like the start. Like, but he did have that stutter. So maybe you thought
Nope. I know what you
was he not even a good actor?
No, man, this guy wasn't. That's what I'm saying. I knew it was political. Right? Because here was a guy that he wasn't trying to act. Okay. It's the difference between the guy that's funny on the back of the bus the guy that's funny doing stand-up. They don't both translate.
Got you.
See what I mean? So when they were talking about him, it wasn't that he stuttered. It was, if we're reading dialogue, there's timing to things.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
I'm waiting on you to say, finish your lines. And if I don't want to walk on your line, if there's a timing to it that you're supposed to say this and I'm supposed to jump right in, and you're like, you gotta, now we're waiting. We gotta wait for you. Now, once we've waited for you, we know the lines. Does the audience know what you were trying to say? So in my mind, if you're thinking about theater, show me a guy that was doing that on stage. And so it wasn't about the disability. It was, okay, are you trying to make fun of him by putting him in this position? You know what I mean? Because everybody that's going to come to the play, they don't go to school with us. Mm-hmm. They're not used to how this guy talks. We're used to it. You know what I mean? He's funny. You know, it's funny. When they come, they're going to be like, wait, hold on. So now, are you guys trying to make a mockery of it? Is it a real play? What are we doing?
Oh, so you thought like, people were just doing it so like they could laugh at him, essentially?
It was too many things that couldn't be explained by that.
Yeah.
It's like the starting point guard of the state championship basketball team is now going to be a freshman that can't really dribble. You're going to immediately go, okay, hold on. How's he now the starting point guard? He's a freshman for the varsity team, and he can't dribble. You immediately now are going, okay, what's going on? How's that? Why? You know? So I was cool with it. But I wasn't going to not be in the play. You know what I mean? But it wasn't that habit of thinking, you know, talent always prevails. And that was a great lesson to learn that early, because it definitely translates when you get to Hollywood.
Yeah. I'd assume. So talk a little bit about like that. Like how was it like getting to Hollywood, like starting out?
It's always, I think, the first thing that you want to do when you get there, the first thing you want to do is you want to hopefully get an agent.
Oh, yeah.
So, if I can get an agent, then we're good. You know, once I get an agent, oh man, then I get sent on auditions, then I'll start booking. That's the first thing that you want. Mm-hmm. Because in Hollywood, you're always going to want more. In life, right? People you want more. So once you get your agent, now you're telling yourself, man, you just send me on some auditions, man. If I get an audition, man, I mean, that's all I need to do is let it get. Just if they can see me, then we're good. You know, you're just telling yourself all this right now. That's what I always say, Salty.
Mm-hmm.
Women in Hollywood have to be the strongest people, like some of the strongest people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine maybe up to 10 times a day someone telling you that you're not pretty enough to be in their project.
Oh my god, yeah. I can imagine it's like soul crushing. Like,
right? They say things that make you feel that you're overweight. Oh yeah, we're looking for someone that's a little more petite.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck
right?
that.
Imagine daily you wake up happy in hopes that the possibility that fewer people will say that, then you might, then you'll get a job. Mm-hmm. Daily, you know that maybe 10 times you're going to drive all over this city just so people can tell you you're not pretty enough or talented enough to be a part of their project. That's auditioning.
Yeah.
And here, this goes back into the play of politics. Sometimes you'll see somebody in something and factually that they may not be as talented as you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time.
That's the politics that I learned as a kid. Just didn't know what was happening at that time. You know, as a kid, you're thinking, oh man, it's because I'm black. It was probably a bunch of stuff. This kid's dad was probably, one of the biggest boosters. Who knows? He wants to see his kid as this guy. Well, if this guy's writing a check, what are you gonna say? In my mind at that time, I wasn't mature enough to know the politics. So as you get to Hollywood, you start to see it firsthand. So you're just, I think the main thing is you're just trying to work. Trying to go on as many auditions as possible because you're just trying to get a job, because you know this job leads to the next job. If you kill it, that leads to this, you know?
Mm-hmm. So like early auditioning, did you kind of learn that pretty early on?
Well, I think the thing with me was, when I went to Hollywood, I wasn't trying to be an actor. Like, and I had seen a guy in 1989, January 3rd, I think it was, 1989. This show premiered called Arsenio Hall show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me put it to you like this, Salt. This show was so prolific at the time. The time there was only guys like Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson is like one of the legends of what you see Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel doing.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's that guy, right? So I had grown up on him. Had grown up watching all kinds of talk, from Phil Donahue in the afternoon to when Oprah first started. You know, I was always interested in, you know, not just information, but I was really interested in how people were obtaining information from people. Right? I was seeing the structure in which how this guy was always able to pull the right strings to get the guest or whomever he was speaking to, get to the root of what it was, right? I saw Oprah be able to really do that. And then there was a guy that all of a sudden, because late night talk just looked a certain way. It was just kind of very, it was just white guys doing it. Right?
Yeah.
So though it was entertaining, it was still kind of like, you know, for white people, if you would. All of a sudden, this guy pops out named Arsenio Hall, and you know, we were familiar with him because he was in a movie called Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah. Almost
He
forgot.
comes out and starts doing his own late night talk show. Now, this is at the time, Salt, where this is like at the stages where hip hop is maybe 11, 12 years old. So this is when Eazy-E and MC Hammer and all these guys are like really hot at the time. You know, it's like that Tribe Called Quest. It was when hip hop was like but there was no platform. These acts weren't being played on like Carson. So when Arsenio came out, it was almost like when Instagram happened. You TikTok, you're like, you're like, oh wait, look at it. This was Arsenio, because now he gave us an opportunity to see live television performances of our favorite music and stuff. So he would have people like, you know, I remember he had everybody on. And the cool thing about him having them on is he was coming from a different perspective. His band sounded different, you know. He had a section of the audience called the Dog Pound. He had a chant that everybody waved their fists in the air and went woo, 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 woo. Like that was his thing. And it was like a hot show. Hey, so when I saw this for the first time, that's that moment, Salty, when I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So everything from that moment was to try to be the next king of late night talk. But when I got to Hollywood, you know, I was willing to do whatever I needed to do to get to that platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
That means if I got to go on some auditions, cool. That's going to get me to that, perfect. If I can be on this and that. I think a lot of people think that iCarly was like the only thing that I did.
I was gonna actually ask you about that. I wanted you to like talk about like a little bit about iCarly and a little bit about like how like everything else that you did, because I know like there's probably a lot.
And in Hollywood is that place where if you've got talent, oh, you can make money, man. So before I got to Hollywood, I was already throwing events, and I was in marketing and promotion. I was throwing parties, you know, in Ohio. So when I got to Hollywood, I had already visited several times. So I noticed that something that I was able to provide in Ohio that really was bringing in 4,000 or 5,000 people a night at these parties I was throwing, I noticed that they didn't have that in LA. So I knew immediately it was something that I could do to make money before I could get to that. Now, I wasn't trying to go to Hollywood and keep throwing parties. I was already doing that in Ohio, right? So I knew that if I really wanted to make money, I could have just stayed in Ohio and done that. I was trying to get to the bigger thing. So the first thing that I did when I got to LA was I integrated myself within the nightlife. I remember one of the first parties that I ever rocked was with a legendary DJ named DJ AM. And I rocked this party in Hollywood. It was the first time that I had ever picked up the microphone in Hollywood. Nobody was on the microphone as an MC, like really getting the party started. So when I was able to do that in Hollywood, it was different than in Ohio. Because now,
I'd assume,
when I look over to the right, oh, that's Justin Timberlake. That's Albert. So now I'm saying that on the microphone. Big shouts out to Justin Timberlake. I see you, brother. Jessica, hey, listen, me and you. It was like now you've got regular, I don't like to say regular, but you had people that weren't in VIP going, wait a minute, Justin Timberlake's over there? So now the people that are throwing the party are going, oh shit, okay. So since I was the only one doing that, now I became that guy. I'm doing everybody's party. I'm on the mic. I'm bringing that to it. So I'm doing that at night. That's getting me money. During the day, I'm going on all the auditions I can. Well, actually, before I ever went on any audition, I ended up doing my first job on TV was on an MTV show called The Wade Robson Project. It was a dance show on MTV.
Oh yeah, well, what did you do?
I was the co-host.
Oh really?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I co-hosted that show on MTV with Wade Robson. You know, it was the first dance show before, you know, you got, before it came out, was it So You Think You Can Dance? It was like, MTV was playing it like 3 times a day. So me and Wade did that for a season. He killed it, and from there, you know, I'm excited. Because I'm doing the parties at night at the club, but during the day I'm on this set and I'm the host of this show. You know, it's like, oh, I'm in Hollywood. You know, Salty, I remember when I would wake up every day, and the first thing that would happen was a smile would come to my face, because I would remember, man, I'm in Hollywood.
It was probably like a really big high, like every single day waking up to that.
The sun shines a little brighter in Hollywood. The sun shines bright, like, imagine taking sunglasses off. You know how it's like brighter, it's significantly brighter? The sun shines brighter like that in Hollywood. It's like that, fam. But it's not hotter. It's a perfect temperature all the time. You know what I mean? It was incredible. Just waking up, and then you got to imagine, I'm coming from Ohio, so now I'm going into these auditions. Like, after, when I first get to LA, before I go to any casting, I get this TV show. So I'm feeling myself, so to say.
Yeah, you're probably thriving in that moment.
Oh, thriving? Oh my God! And then the manager that I had, I remember him saying, well, we don't want you to take any acting classes, because that was the thing. Everybody was jumping into acting classes. I'm like, well, why not? He goes, because, you know, you've got natural talent. So the last thing we want to do is get somebody to try to cage that when you're already working.
Oh, you like, they didn't really want people to be like, oh, now you should try doing this instead. Like completely ruining your thing.
Right, he's in his mind, he's going, well, you're a working actor. So yes, there's gonna be things that you need to work on, but let's see what the casting agent's feedback is before we just throw, because he's like, you're already working. I was like, okay, cool. So from there, I did special guest episodes on House.
Oh, you were on House?
I did an episode that was called House's Head. That episode actually won an Emmy. Wasn't a big role, but again, you're just trying to work. Right?
Yeah.
So it didn't necessarily translate, Salt, because you remember the MTV show was I was hosting something. So now I got to prove that I can act. But the hosting, that was the coolest thing to me, because remember, I came out here to be Arsenio Hall. I came out here to be because at this time, there's no black guys hosting any late night shows. Even right now, Salt, think about it. There's 3 guys named Jimmy.
Yes, seriously.
So there is no flavor like that. So in my mind, I'm going, okay, I got to be that guy. And this is all the way back in 2003. So, I just continued to go on these auditions. So from that, I did a film called Step Up 2. It was a dance film.
Oh, you were in Step Up too?
I was the DJ.
Oh
I'm
my
DJ
God.
Sam. Okay, so I did that. Now at the time, like I said, again in Hollywood, if you've got talent, you can make money. So here's the tricky part, Salty, and you might understand this.
Mm-hmm.
At night, nightlife in LA, you have to think of it as people live in LA to go out.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, LA is the place where at any given time, at any given club, you're going to see somebody that the world considers, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
They're in there. But in LA, in Hollywood, we don't look at each other like that.
It's just kind of like just seeing people.
It's like, think about high school. I call Hollywood University, because it's the place where all the homecoming queens, all the prom kings, all the class clowns, all the most likely to succeed, all those people matriculated to Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine, yeah.
Right. So it's like high school. Imagine it's, in high school, the captain of the football team, he's going to have certain people in the high school that are going to look at him like that. But then you're going to have people that aren't into football like that don't look at him like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. So when you're in nightlife like that, it's easy for me to be throwing a party. I'm on the microphone and say, Chris Brown shows up. Ego show up. Well, since I know them, it's easy for me to just hand them the mic. Now, this is an unannounced performance live. So when you're pulling these types of things off, that money is greater than, say, what they're giving you for the job that you're doing on, say, TV.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in your mind going, okay, you know what I mean? It's that moment of going, okay, I just made X amount of dollars doing this last night for 3 hours at that party. Going on to this audition, if I go on this audition, even if I do get the job, I'm only gonna make this amount of money. So now you're in that place where you're torn, because if you're trying to be this, and this thing that you're doing here is more like that than this, which one is more important?
I mean, I guess,
See? Right. It's hard to go which one is more important.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the fact that you have to pick and choose is probably like really hard.
It's very hard because, again, if you've got talent, that's why when sometimes you hear people go, I don't see why he would be trying to act now. He's a singer. Well, he might be an actor. He just became famous for singing first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you see guys like Jared Leto, he doesn't really sing like that anymore. Why? Because he wanted to be an actor. But that's when you hear these things like triple threats. This guy can act, sing, and dance. She can act, sing, and dance. When you like somebody for something, you immediately discount what else they might be able to do that's better than that.
No, true.
Now that person is torn in a city where you can do this, you can do that, but you can't focus on all of it at the same time.
So I have a question for you. Not to sidetrack too much. I wanted to ask, like, so you started on this show, this dance show, like that was like your big thing for the longest time, right?
That's why my name is Boogie, bro. And people didn't just call me Boogie because I'm cold. I can dance? That's what I do. So people knew me from, think about it, people know you from so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm listening to you.
You were saying, so dancing was my first thing.
Oh yeah, dancing was your first thing, and like you were also in that you played that DJ in that movie as well. So going down the line, like when, and not to get to this too soon because I know there's a lot more to talk about, but I'm curious, like how was it like getting on, the thing of the hour, iCarly, I guess, in a sense. Because so, I'm interested to hear about that. Like, as somebody who kind of grew up... Oh, wait a second. I totally fucked up on that. Well, one sec. I'm just going to reset.
time, man.
Chat, everybody noticed how much I fucked up on that. I botched that playthrough, but it was a little bit of a fun time. I was just kind of getting my feet in the water for, you know, everything that's going on tonight. I was gonna mention it earlier. That first run through the game that I was doing while Boogie was talking, I'm just testing the waters real quick, dipping my feet in, and now I'm gonna get into it because I made a bunch of mistakes, but I was just trying to remember the game after I haven't played it a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to ask Boogie, like, how did that happen? How did iCarly end up happening for you? Because as somebody who, like, I was right around the age where iCarly was like going off the air, and that's when I started watching it. And I'm just curious, how did that end up happening?
How did it go off the air, or how did I get the job?
How did you get the job? Like, starting with that.
So again, you're trying to work.
Yeah.
So daily, you're going on these auditions. So you have to remember at the time, I hadn't watched Nickelodeon in years. Mm-hmm. So you're just going on auditions. You know, they're called breakdowns, and every day they have breakdowns for people of talent that they're looking to fill roles. And the breakdown might say, you know, black male, Latin male, you know, between the ages of this, you know, it might even get a height, right? So you know, comedic, blah, blah, blah. So now all the agents in the city are sending their clients for that role. Mm-hmm. So you get there, you see that it's not even just black or white guy or black guys and Latin guys. It's everybody's there because it's a job. Everybody's trying to get the job. Yeah, so it's not even like, oh, it's a job on Nickelodeon. You're just trying to get the job.
Yeah, at a base level, you're really probably just trying to get work in the first place. Doesn't matter where it is.
That's right. You're trying to work. So, you know, once you get to a certain level of your career, then you can be selective. You don't really have to even audition. You just take meetings, so to say. But where most people, what happens is, you know, you go in, you audition, do well, they give you a call back. Okay? Once you do the call back, if you do well from that, then your agent will call you and say, hey, Nickelodeon, you might go, Nickelodeon, that audition you went on Tuesday, yes, they just called and checked your availability. That means you're one step closer. Then she'll say even something like they put a pin in you, meaning they want to reserve that date. Then they'll officially book you. So now once they book you, you go to wardrobe, mm-hmm. right? And if the scene is different than what you audition, they won't give you that material until you officially book the job. So you go to wardrobe, you get fitted for, you know, whatever they kind of see the character being. Here's the funny thing about that. So when I go, you know, when I go to these auditions, when you go to auditions, you kind of want to look fly. You know, you kind of want to look cool. You don't want to go. So my style was actually character style. So they liked how I was dressed, so they were like, ooh. Yeah,
coincidentally, it just worked.
It just worked. So you have to now think, if I wore bandanas all the time on my hair because I danced and I didn't want my hair in my face. So I always had a dope bandana on, and the bandana usually matched my shoes or the shirt that was under my vintage t-shirt or something like that. So they really thought the way I was dressed was cool, and it worked for the character.
So that's kind of interesting because a lot of people, when they think of that character, they think of the bandana. So like you had that bandana like just from the get-go?
They molded the character based off of what I was dressed like when I went into the audition.
That's so interesting.
Well, here's the trip part about that. I had to stop wearing bandanas because then it would look like I was just out in character.
Oh my god. So people would just come up to you and be like, "Oh my god, like you're the guy," like, you know.
I had to stop wearing bandanas before it got to that. I was conscious enough to know, man, if I can't wear, now I got to get rid of all my bandanas because I had bandanas every color. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, damn, like, because you don't want to look like you're trying to look for attention. So if I'm dressed like I'm in character and I'm the guy, like, you know, because the only thing that would have been different, I mean, I don't wear orange shirts to this day. I didn't wear, you know what I mean?
Yo, no, I totally know what you mean. Wait, chat. Can we get an F in chat for Boogie's like really nice wardrobe that he probably just can't wear anymore? Oh my god. I'm sorry to hear that, but that's so interesting though.
It was cool though. But at the time, again, I wasn't familiar with the show. I hadn't watched Nickelodeon in years. And when I got the job, that was just a one-off. It was only supposed to be that one time.
And I assume that the writers or people who were working on it just liked you so much they wanted to have you on more.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna speak for them. All I know is if somebody gives you an opportunity, it doesn't matter how many lines you have, you better show the fuck out. So I knew based upon what the script looked like. Of course, I knew I wasn't gonna have a bunch of lines. I knew this. So I knew that what they had given me, I was gonna have to make faces, I was gonna have to pause, it was gonna have to be timing, I was gonna have to utilize more than just my words to make an impact in this scene. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. And then I remember a couple weeks later, my agent called and was like, hey, Nickelodeon reached back out, they want to bring you back in for another one. I'm like, okay, so for years, bro, for like 2 years, this was just a weekly booking for me.
Yeah, I can only assume it. Like you were just kind of like, yeah, I'm just like, you probably didn't even consider yourself like a part of the show at that point. You were just like, yeah, this is just like a job I get every once in a while. Like, right?
Absolutely. So, right. That's why I was saying it was good that I was rocking and throwing those events. So I started, like, when I got to LA, I started like hosting other people's events. That was only so I could be in those types of events and network with people, get their phone number. That way, when I started throwing my shit, I would have them in my shit, because I'm not going to keep giving you my talent. And what you're doing, I was already doing on a bigger scale. Now I've got this talent right here in town, and I don't necessarily have to pay them. I needed to put myself in a place, because somebody told me one time, the secret to LA is people don't want to be around non-desirable people.
Yeah.
And if you're in LA, you've got so many people that maybe have grown up and have always been popular or always been a star. They might have an arrogance to them. They may act a certain way, which might turn people off from them. So I always wanted to make sure that I was just cool people. So once I started throwing events, again, there's just people in LA like me that were just daily going on auditions. I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you something real funny. So
I'd love to hear it. Go on.
So back in the day, MTV did a contest called Wanna Be a VJ.
Okay.
This contest, this is when MTV was everything. Nothing moved without MTV. Mm-hmm. They had the MTV Movie Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards. I mean, MTV was bigger than the Grammys.
Yeah,
this is when they actually still played music. Oh yeah, let's go. They started doing this contest called Wanna Be a VJ, in which they were having open casting calls. The next MTV VJ. Now, at this point, Carson Daly he's Ryan Seacrest at this point. Carson Daly was the first Ryan Seacrest. So everybody knows that Carson Daly's the bar. He does TRL Live, Total Request Live. He's got every major artist, celebrity on there live. It's right in Times Square. Every day they look outside the window, there's not even gonna say tens of thousands, there's thousands of kids, people downstairs in Times Square looking up at MTV with signs and billboards. I mean, every day people are watching this, and they're doing a request live countdown of like the #1 song, and they'll have like the #1 artist or whoever that is on the show, and there's a studio audience. So this was the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this
was
the shit. So now they're telling the country, we're looking for the next DJ. The MTV used to go on spring break, and it was like the big thing. MTV spring break, people would go to spring break, and they would make their plans to go to spring break based upon where MTV was going to be. When MTV's telling people we're going to do a contest and let people, be the VJ, everybody shows up, including your boy right here. My ass is there.
So how did that end up going?
I left Ohio, took a flight to New York. I know I got to go stand in line at about 3 in the morning. I know this because I know I'm not the only one coming to this. I go and once I get my place in line, when I turn this corner, there's already like maybe 5,000 people there, middle of the night, standing there, already in line. For the next course of the next hours, it's like tens of thousands of people outside in New York, right downstairs from New York's, Times Square studios. I go in, do my audition, I don't get it. No worries. I go back to Ohio and I keep doing my thing. See, I wasn't really worried about it. You know why?
Why?
Ever heard that phrase, fake it till you make it?
Oh my God, yeah, that's me literally all the time, every day.
Oh boy, that was me. That was me too. I was taking it in a time where nobody could just pull out their phone and pull up an Instagram and say, "You're lying. That's not you." This was that time. Let me give you an example of how extreme I was. So I'm already in Columbus, Ohio. Now, Columbus, Ohio is the home of the Ohio State University.
Yeah.
This time, the Ohio State University housed about 68,000 undergrad. 68,000. Right? And now this is also the capital city of Ohio. So weekly, I'm throwing events. I'm on that microphone. My microphone game is so cold. I'm ready for MTV. I'm ready for anything. I can talk. I can read I can talk. I'm doing my own commercials in the city. So I'm ready for this. So I don't get it. No problem. I go back. The Ohio State spring break was always a week after MTV spring break. But whenever Ohio State would go on spring break, say like MTV was doing Cancun, Ohio State, we would go, all my boys and me, we'd go to Cancun. And what I would do is I would go up to the club and go, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Bobby Bowman, MTV. Let's have a microphone." They would go, "MTV was here last week." And I go, "Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But obviously we know that students are still going to be coming and we obviously want to have a presence here." They'd go, "Oh, okay." And they would give me the microphone and I would go in. Now they're watching me to make sure, like, who is this dude? So once they give me the microphone, "All right, Cancun, Bobby Bowman, MTV, y'all ready to get this party?" Now they're like, "Oh, okay, this guy is MTV, right?" So now I got all the spring break thinking I'm with MTV. I'm rocking with it too. I've got laminates made with my face on it. I went there prepared. Salty, I went there prepared, okay? Now, if you've ever been to Cancun, they've got clubs. They've got stadium-sized clubs, right? There's a club they had there called Coco Bongo. So this club was so big, it was creepy looking. It was so big, it was creepy looking. So when I come into this club, I look way up at the top, and I'm talking like 100 feet in the air, there's some girl up there dancing. Now in my mind, because now after the first day when I told everybody that I was with MTV, because so you gotta understand, I didn't just go to one club that first night. No. I went to the first club, I rocked it for about a half hour, and then I gave them the microphone back. And then I left and went to the other club next door, because now when I walk out of that club and they just saw what I did next door, bro, they're waving their hand. Come on in here, bro. Come on in here. They handed me the mic. Oh my Coco Bongo. So now by day 2, Salty, people see me coming. These guys are pushing people back. They're opening the ropes. I'm still a block away. They're waving at me. Come on, come in here. Oh, I get in this Coco Bongo place and I see this girl dancing way up there, and in my mind I go, I gotta get up there. I need to get up there. If I'm gonna do this, I need to be at the highest point where so I tell him, I point at the guy.
The higher up you are, the more powerful you are.
There you go. There you get it. Yeah. So he's trying to point me to this little platform area, and I'm like, nah, dog. So I start pointing up there. So he looks at me and turns around, and he leads me up there. I get all the way to the top and I laid that place out, Salty. So I'm already acting like I'm with MTV. So the next year, MTV does it again. I go and they do it in St. Louis. I don't get the job. They pick somebody else. No problem. I'm still fronting like I'm Bobby Bowman MTV.
So to clarify to everybody who might be joining, you are not with MTV at that point.
No!
You just showed up. You showed up.
Verify this.
You showed up, and people were just like, "Hey, who are you?" And you're like, "I'm from MTV," and they just are like, "Oh, okay." Hand you the mic. You just go and you do your thing.
I think part of it was who was gonna say that.
Like, yeah, who's gonna go into a club and just be like, "I'm from MTV"?
Club, salty fucking club. Who's gonna go to another country and say that? Another country, bro.
And like, there's no way that they can prove you wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then I know that when I pick up that mic, it's a rap. I already know. So it's not like I'm gonna be stumbling around or I'm gonna be up there trying to rap or some shit like that. I'm getting ready to slay this microphone, right? So when I do that, now it's good. So after that last MTV thing, it didn't work. It so happened that very same fall, September, I moved to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a club. Now you're gonna love this story. How much time we got?
I'm prepped.
How much time we got?
We got plenty of time.
Listen, I'm a storyteller, so
I can tell. I'm digging these though.
So when I get to Hollywood, I know what I've got to do is I got to get out. I got to get seen. I gotta infuse myself into the culture here. Now, since I visited here so many times, I already know. Next time we talk, Salt, I have to tell you about the time when I went and bought a tiger.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. It's too much.
Wait a second. Boogie, wait. You can't just come into my stream and be like, tell all these amazing stories and then just, I don't know, happen to leave out the fact that you owned a tiger at one point.
So you know what I'm doing? I'm giving you content, bro. I'm teasing them. That way when we reconvene, they're like, hey, no, that's the fucking guy about the tiger now. You know what I mean? I'm giving you teasers for next time. So we'll talk about the tiger and the monkey next time.
And the monkey, wait, hold up. You got like a whole zoo?
Tiger, the monkey, and the 2 Great Danes while I was driving a Hummer. We'll talk about that next time, bro.
I like how the Hummer was included. The Hummer was included as a part of that preview.
Was why I decided to get the tiger and the monkey, because in my mind, you know what it's going to look like when I jump out this fucking truck with those 2 big black Great Danes followed by a tiger while holding a monkey on my arm that's wearing a diaper. I already saw it in my mind. We'll talk about that next time.
Okay, if like just leave it ambiguous, I guess.
So I get to Hollywood. Since I visited so many times, I already know that they don't have anybody that, 1, does what I do. 2, I already know the clubs that I can get into. We got to keep it real. When you first get to Hollywood, unless you know somebody, you're not getting in the hot spots.
Yeah,
like not the hottest spots, right? Well, lucked up, because the club that I used to go to when I used to visit, called the Garden of Eden. I knew the guy that worked the door because he was also a guy that worked the door at a club in Miami called Liquid that used to be owned by Madonna. Man, I just listen. We'll talk about that. We'll say that for the next time we talk. We'll say those stories for it. So this guy that works this door, I know that we're cool, so I know he's gonna let me in. As soon as he sees me, he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "Man, I'm here now." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I moved." He's like, "Oh, you live here now?" He's like, "Man, welcome." I'm like, "Thank you. I'm on a high, Salt. I'm here now. I'm not visiting. I live here now, right?" So I'm feeling myself, right?
Yep.
So he lets me in. And I don't know that this is a different night than the night that I used to come to this club, because I've never been to the club on the night that I'm there now. I've only been there like on the weekend. Mm-hmm. This is like a Tuesday night, maybe a Wednesday. It was like a Tuesday. So he lets me in, and I notice shit's fucking rocking. That's the first thing I noticed. This shit is fucking rocking, right? And I mean, the DJ is killing it. And me, I'm a dancer. So since I don't know anybody, I know that the way that I'm gonna get attention is once I get on that dance floor. Once I start killing it on the dance floor, circles gonna open up, People gonna start watching, and once I stop dancing, now I'm gonna be able to go talk to any girl I want. That's my mind. Listen, don't play with me. I'm a grown ass man, Salty. In my mind, I'm going, okay, I'm in Hollywood now. Okay. So I'm surveying the scene. I look over and I see a little Asian guy standing at the top of these stairs. He's holding like a handful of wristbands. But the VIP area that he's kind of standing in, there's nobody up there. So immediately I know, okay, this is his party. As I continue to look around this place, now all of a sudden I notice, and this is what tripped me out, the music was rocking so hard, the hip hop was banging so hard, I just assumed that it was some black dude over there playing. When I look over there, there's a guy chain smoking cigarettes and scratching with his knuckles. Now, this is at a time where you can still smoke in the club. It's early 2000s. I'm like, damn, this dude is killing it. Right? So when I look back to see where the Asian dude went, he's now at the bottom of the stairs where I'm at. So I walk up to him and I go, hey, man, party is fire. This is your party, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, it is. I go, man, this is fire. He's like, thank you. I was like, what's your name? He's like, I'm Sung. I'm like, okay, word. Now, here's a very key part. From the moment I left Ohio and moved to Hollywood, became Boogie. So I built all that stuff in Ohio and running around acting like I was MTV is Bobby Bowman. Bobby Bowman MTV, because that's a cold name. That's my real name. That's government. Bobby Bowman MTV. Yeah, I had figured it all out. So now I get to LA and I'm like, okay, now I'm Boogie. I've been throwing this party in Ohio called Boogie Nights. So now I'm like, okay, I'm Boogie. Now I'm introducing myself to people as Boogie. Mm-hmm. Oh, when Suck introduced himself to me, I tell him I'm Boogie. And I go, listen, this party is hot, but I can take it to another level. He's like, how? I was like, you have a microphone. He goes, I don't want anybody rapping. I'm like, good, because I don't want anybody rapping either. Right? He kind of smirks at me, and then he walks away. Just turned around and walked away. So I was like, okay, cool. I turned immediately and headed towards the dance floor. Why? Because I had already seen what was in that VIP. And I needed to get in that VIP. You know what I mean? Something that's always my mission. Like back in the day, I could get in anywhere. I could talk my way into anywhere.
So right? You figure the next step is like, I gotta get in that VIP area.
I get the VIP. If I'm now in LA, I'm not gonna stand around and wait on a man. Listen, I'm getting ready to try to get up here and meet people now because I knew I could talk to anybody. I could talk to anybody. That's my gift. I don't have a problem striking up conversation as you see now. So I hit the dance floor. And as soon as I start gigging, everybody's dancing, then all of a sudden the circle opens and I start rocking and I'm looking at this one and I'm looking at that one. All of a sudden somebody taps me on my shoulder. I look over my shoulder and it's the Suck guy. And I'm like, oh man, is this guy gonna tell me like something like, oh, we don't dance in circles out here? So like, what is he? I'm thinking he's gonna hate on me. When I turn around and look over my shoulder, he turns around and walks away again. I'm like, what the fuck's with this guy with the walking away? Like, what am I supposed to follow this guy? You know what I mean?
It's just so like, wait, so he like just tapped you on the shoulder, walked away.
Walked away super fast, smoking a cigarette, like puffing a cigarette. I'm like, does that mean follow you? What the fuck does that mean? Like, so I just took a chance and I start following him. This guy's walking forever. And I'm like, where are we going? Is this guy throwing me out of the club? Like, what are we doing?
What's going on at that point?
What's going on? Like, takes me back in this little like service bar area where the people are making the drinks, and he looks at me and he goes, I don't want anybody rapping. In my mind I'm going, is this guy on drugs? Is he drunk? Because he already said this to me. Is this deja vu? Am I tripping? Right? So I'm just kind of looking at him, and then he pulls this microphone out of his back pocket. Oh bro. So when I saw that microphone, I knew it was my moment. I knew it was my moment because I'm in this party. Being in this party, I know places where the DJ's playing music where I would say this or I would say that and take the party would just take off. Whereas there's nobody on the mic doing that, which means they're not familiar. It's called finding your niche.
So you know what I mean? You're kind of taking advantage of the situation. They don't have anybody doing that. And you know what you're doing in that regard.
I know what I'm doing, right? So now he gives me the mic. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to just turn the mic on and start talking. That would be disrespectful to the DJ. So now I got to make my way over to the DJ. I don't want to just start talking over his mix. He's not expecting anybody to be saying anything. So I make my way over there, but I do it in a way that he can see that I've got a microphone in my hand when I get to it. As I'm standing there, he kind of takes the earphones off one ear. He goes, "Oh, what's up, man?" He's like, "You about to rap?" I'm like, no, hell no. He goes, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I'm gonna rock with you." He goes, "Oh, okay, what's up?" I'm like, "Man, listen, I'm rocking with you. What's your name?" He's like, "I'm Adam." I'm like, "What's up, Adam?" "I'm Boogie." He's like, "So do me a favor, just break it down for a minute." I was like, "Break it down for a minute. I'm gonna introduce the place. I'm gonna introduce old buddy, talking about my man, talking about Suck. I was like, I'm gonna introduce old buddy. I'll introduce you, and then I'll introduce myself." I was like, "So you go by DJ Adam? What's your name?" He's like, "No, I'm DJ AM." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I was like, "Just break it down." He was like, "All right, break." So he broke it down. I was like, "Hollywood, California. Welcome to the world famous Garden of Eden. Rocking alongside the legend. This is DJ AM. This is a Suck Song production. I am the voice of the city. They call me Boogie. Whose birthday is it?" All of a sudden, the girls start screaming, "Ah!" You know, they're screaming now because people are like, "Oh shit, somebody talking? Who's that guy?" Right?
Yeah.
Girls are screaming. I'm shouting out all the birthday girls. Shout out to all the girls that ain't even supposed to be here right now. If anybody asks, I didn't see you. Right now, they're screaming.
Yeah.
People are laughing, giggling because I'm, comedy. That's my thing. I say, shout out to all the side pieces, and all the dudes is like, "Hey!" And I was like, "Don't trip, ladies. Most of these dudes is side pieces too." And all the ladies like, "Ah!" Right? I was like, "With that being said, that's out to everybody celebrating the birthday. Yeah, let's get this started." He was like, "Chibba, chibba, 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 California love." This was at that time. So I rocked that party. "That's right, let's go. West Side is in the building. Put your hands up." Everybody's now rocking. California. He turns the music down. The whole club knows how to party. This wasn't happening before. I look over to my right. The Suck dude is up in the VIP in the same spot that I originally saw him. Now he's over there dancing. His ass wasn't dancing before, Salty. See what I'm saying?
So you did a good job.
Right. So I do it for about 10 minutes, Salty. Then I walk over to him. I hand him the microphone back. And I was like, "Hey, man, I appreciate that." He's like, wait, you're done? You're done? You're done? I got your ass. See what I just did, Salty? I got your ass.
He just baited him into it. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you want me to do more?"
Because I know, Salty, there's a difference. I just sent it to 100. Now, when I turn that mic off and I've stopped, "Okay, Hollywood, California, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? AM, let's go." And he just keeps on playing bangers. Once I take that type of energy away, now it's back to just the music, and the music might as well just be an instrumental. Now this guy that throws this party, I'm not talking about the part where I started talking about Justin. "Hey, Justin, I see you over there. Jessica Alba, listen, we got to get a drink, baby." So she's giggling. I don't know Jessica Alba, but when I put that mic back, I made a beeline straight to the VIP. Now that's my moment. Because now those people in the VIP, now they're curious. Who was that? Who is this guy that was just on the mic that did that? So who is that? Now I'm able to walk up to Justin. "What's going on, man? Boogie, how you doing, bro?" "Hey, thanks for the shot." Before I can get to the VIP, guy walks up to me. He goes, "You weren't here the last time I was here, were you?" I was like, "Nah," and I stick my hand out to go shake his hand, and he turns around and walks away. So now I'm like, this must be a LA thing.
Like a little bit of an exclusivity, like he doesn't know who you are, so he's just nothing.
Walking away thing. You know what I mean? Like, who just turns around and walks away like that? Right? And this guy just did it too. The Suck guy did it 3 times. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. This guy can't ruin my high. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to get in the VIP in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Oh, so yeah, I bet.
So as I'm getting ready to walk right into the VIP, the same guy that just walks away comes back to me. And I'm like, what is this guy's problem? He sticks a card out, goes, "Call me Monday." I take his card, I flip it over. Salty, it says Danny Villa, MTV casting.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Wait, so okay, just as a recap, you went around pretending that you were part of MTV for the longest time, and then out of nowhere, just by playing the right chords, somebody from MTV gives you the card? Hello? Sorry, you cut out there. What was that?
I said, don't ever let anybody tell you what the fuck you cannot do.
This is great.
Right? So he gives me the card. I see it. Instead of going to the VIP, I make a beeline to this outside patio area. Pull my phone out of my pocket. The first call I make is to my mama.
Oh,
when she answered the phone, it was like, "Mama, you ain't gonna believe this. You ain't gonna believe this." It was like that, bro. It was that moment. So it was that moment, right? So we got too much to talk about. So right before I left Columbus, I was like, I can honestly say I was running the city. Every major club that was in that city, I was throwing an event there that was their biggest night. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In Columbus, Ohio, city shut down. I don't know if it's still like this, but the city shuts down at on Sunday, nothing's open. There's no clubs banging like that. People have to resort to a little bar, some hole in the wall.
Oh yeah.
So, this one year, right before I left, and this was year 2000. NSYNC was doing their big tour, right? And they were coming through Columbus, Ohio. So these guys get to town on Sunday because they got a concert on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So they get there, and I'm in my mind, I'm going, this is my city. So I know the hotel that they're staying at. I know all the staff. I go to the hotel, and as they're checking in, they're coming in. I go up to them and I go, "Hey guys, welcome to the city. I'm Bobby Bowman. So first of all, we're happy to have you here. Unfortunately, there aren't many options as far as anything to do on a Sunday. Oh, cool thing is you met your boy. So right next door to you guys here, there's a club about 100 feet away called Pulse. I've opened that up just for you, not just the band, crew, everybody that's a part of your tours, welcome to come. All drinks will be free. You guys don't even need to bring your wallets. Don't worry about any fans or anything like that. The party will be catered by all girls." So at this point, they're like, "Okay, cool," because these are the roadies. I'm talking to the roadies because I know if I talk to the roadies, that shit's gonna spread. Because all the roadies don't get in at the same time. Some people are bringing stages, this. So I know they're gonna start talking. Once they start talking, it's gonna slide up to upper management, the tour manager. Now he's gonna go. Now all of a sudden, everybody's coming. Now here's what I did in the meantime. So I reached out to every girl I knew. Said, "Listen, I'm doing an event tonight, private event. Bring 5 of your dopest friends, right? Don't bring no dudes. I don't care how long you've known him. I don't care. Don't bring your best friend that's in town from don't do that, or I'm not gonna let you in, and I'll never invite you to anything."
Oh my God.
The bartenders that I knew, and I had the women that I knew, they were the bartenders. I had my boys working the door. When they came, everybody came from the thing. From NSYNC to Christina Milian, all these guys came, including their dancers.
Jesus, wow.
I literally they drank, they partied, I had my DJ there. As I'm doing this, I'm getting to know these people. Right? They're very gracious. "Thank you very much. This is so nice of you to do this for us, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, "No problem." So I'm talking to them like, "You got to come to the show tomorrow. Don't worry, we got tickets for you." The whole thing. I end up going over there to the show. One of the dancers was Wade Robson's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I met all the dancers because Wade Robson, he created the show. He was the creative director and the choreographer of the show. So all these people are people that he's hired. So when I meet all these people, they're all like, "Oh, you got to get in touch with us when we get to LA." Because I told them I'm moving to LA. "Oh, you got to get in touch with us when we get to LA. Get in touch with all we got." In my mind, I'm like, yeah. But I know how that works. People say things in the moment. They don't always really mean that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not planning on getting in touch with anybody. Well, one person I stay in touch with this one person. This one person so happens to be doing a show. He had a deal with MTV, and he was bringing Wade in, and I got a chance to meet Wade through him, and all of a sudden me and Wade became fast friends, and that's how I got a chance to do Wade's show. So I went and met with MTV that Monday and did what they call a general reading. From that general reading, they were like, dude, where have you been? Because they couldn't believe I could read like that off the teleprompter. I was just so comfortable. So they were like, dude, where have you been? And I was like, oh, I was trying to be funny. I was like, oh, I was sleeping outside of your New York offices. And they're like, sleeping outside? They're like lost. And I'm thinking immediately they're going to know what I'm talking about. And they're like, sleeping outside of our New York offices? I was like, yeah. And they were like, for what? I was like, to want to be a VJ? They were like, wait, you auditioned for that? I was like, yeah. They were like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, no, what? They're like, no, that's not like a real thing.
It was fake?
Like, wait, what do you mean that's like a real thing? They're like, yeah, that's more like a sweeps week thing. Like, yeah, we know everybody's going to be want to watch themselves and their friends, so we know that's something. I'm like, you didn't have, but I couldn't say anything. Why? Because I was already Bobby Bowman MTV. So I mean, what am I doing? So it was like, okay, cool. I had nothing to lose. But that was how. And so when Wade ended up having, they let him shoot a pilot. When Wade did his first pilot, I wasn't a part of it. He let me go and warm up the crowd because he knew I'm gonna get this thing rocking for you. So that way your pilot looks great, right? So I remember I'm out there rocking the crowd, and I look back and Wade's like standing at the top of the stairs with this confused look on, and he's got like the apron around his neck that they use when they're putting makeup on you, right? And I like put the mic in my back pocket. I run up to the top of the stairs. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? He goes, who's here? Who's here? What's going on? Like, what do you mean? I mean, who's here? He goes, why did everybody start screaming and like going off like that? I kind of turned my head and looked at him like, oh, you know who I am. What you mean? Why did they turn their head? He was like, oh, you were just hyping them up. You were like, and I'm like, man, you know what I do, right? So we kind of laughed. He was like, oh, okay. I thought like a celebrity or something like showed up. I was like, oh, you disrespect me. He's like, dude, I swear to God, I didn't know why everybody started freaking out like that. So he takes the show to MTV. MTV really didn't like the format he did it in. So they were like, we're going to give you a chance to do the pilot again. They never
do
that.
Real quick, don't want to interrupt your story. I just want to ask, anybody in chat still seeing the stream, or did it go offline? Because I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing it on my end.
I see it.
Still here? All right, cool. Just making sure. I wanted to make sure of that. So go on, Boogie. Sorry.
So give him a chance to do his pilot again and give him one note. Ask your friend who warmed up the crowd if he wants to be your co-host. So Wade calls me one morning, and you gotta remember, when they give you a general audition, that general audition that I did with MTV, at this point it was like 2 years ago. Right, so you learn the hard way what a general audition is. It means they just kind of want to get you on tape. Not a bad thing when that's like your first meeting. Oh, I'm thinking, man, I'm about to call my mama tomorrow and be like, look, I've been out here for like a week. You see what your boy did out here? Like, I was thinking like that,
Yeah.
So like 2 years later, we shoot the pilot. And I remember one morning Wade calls me and we're talking for about an hour. And I'm like, oh, all right, bro. Well, I'm about to get up out this bed, get the day started. He goes, oh, yeah. She might like to know that they picked up the pilot, too.
Oh, yeah?
I start freaking out. I'm like, you waited an hour to tell me. He just started laughing. And he was like, congratulations, brother. And I just freaked out because it was like, now I'm going to be on MTV.
That's a huge deal.
Be on MTV. Oh man, it was an incredible time, man. So yeah, my Hollywood story, it's taken so many turns, and from the dance community, creative direction, Nickelodeon was probably the one thing that I'm most known for sure.
But you definitely had a huge journey.
The journey has been incredible, and it continued even after iCarly. I did a show with Cameron Boyce on Disney called The Gamer's Guide to Pretty Much Everything.
Oh yeah.
So I did that show with him after iCarly was over, Yeah, man, it's been beautiful.
And we got all of that just based off of one question. And that's crazy. Does anybody from chat have any questions for Boogie after that? While we're still doing our thing on the gaming side of things. It's looking pretty good so far. Good stream, good stream.
This game is kind of cool, man.
Is it? You think it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game you can veg out on.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. Don't think that this game is that good. I'll be real with you. It definitely exists.
It's one of those veg out games.
So people are asking that. I don't want to go too deep into this because I do have other questions, but people are asking where you got that sort of confidence from. What do you think?
I think oftentimes we gain confidence from a lack of confidence.
Oh, I get you.
If you can recognize certain, I think often people are just cool with recognizing things. You often hear people go, you know what I realized? And that's it. So they're cool with the fact that they realized it. And the hard part comes with trying to change that, trying to reverse engineer it. It's tough to try to have a certain level of confidence without coming across as arrogant. So I feel like a lot of my life I've been told that I was humble to a fault. And that's cool. So I'd rather be humble to a fault than people be like, this fucking guy. You know? So I think it also had a lot to do with mom. Mom was the greatest person I've ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So her being proud of me was everything. Just knowing, my mom was back home, was my publicist. When iCarly was on, my mom would send a text message out to everybody. Hey guys, make sure you guys are tuning in to iCarly. Bobby's gonna be on there. Like, my mom was just, even I lost my mom in 2016, and I remember people would tell me, "Oh, you man, your mom's face would just light up whenever your name would come up." We would, because I think often she would be places, and people's families would tell their grandkids, "Hey, do you know who that is? That's Tebow's mom." So she became like this celebrity, you know what I mean? And that was cool to me. That was super cool that my mom got a chance to feel that type of love based upon something that I was doing that was positive. Because that's how she raised me. And we all want to make our parents proud,
Of course. Also, quick break. Everybody in chat was saying it. Got a new personal best on that run.
And I saw you.
we're gonna continue it. We're gonna continue on that roll. I'm feeling myself tonight.
I used to watch Nickelodeon as a kid all the time, Peanut. I used to watch You Can't Do That on Television, Double Dare, Doug. Oh,
Doug was the shit.
Doug Funny was the dude, man. I used to love Nickelodeon, I grew up watching TV because I'm an only child, and my mom worked a lot. So I often tell my people that my siblings were work and volunteer work. My mom liked them more than she liked me, because it was. But as an adult, I can't do anything but admire what my mom was doing, But as a kid, you don't always see that. I was constantly in front of TV, man, just constantly watching, constantly just absorbing content. Because not only did I have the shows that I watched, then when my mother came home, we watched the shows that she watched. My mind it was working my creative, because there was often I was grounded and not allowed to watch TV. I would lay next to the TV and just listen to the TV because I already knew what the shows looked like, knew what the characters.
Yeah.
So at that time, I didn't know that I was building my creative mind to see things without having to see things. And that helps a lot when you get to Hollywood, because somebody gives you a script, you got to be able to see that.
Oh, so that's actually really interesting. So like from like a pretty young age, you kind of almost conditioned yourself to kind of visualize stuff based on audio or just descriptions.
That's right. Right, because I was grounded a lot. And my mom knew how much I loved TV, so the first thing that she would take away from me was TV. I think the problem that I had was school bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sit under those fluorescent lights for 8 hours and listen to this guy tell me uninteresting stories.
Oh my God, yeah. No. Really feeling that.
Yeah, everybody doesn't learn the same way. Whereas, I'll tell you a quick story. I remember I was very young. I was in like 2nd grade. This lady came in to teach, or not to teach. You know how sometimes you have those people that come in and speak to the class?
Oh yeah, like guest speakers or like stuff like that.
So I remember we're in 2nd grade, and she comes in and she's like, "Anybody know what season of the year is that Christmas falls in?" People raise their hand, and winter. Good, that's good. Does anybody know what comes after winter? People raise their hand and get all the way to spring, summer. She gets to the next one. She goes, "What comes after summer?" And people raise their hand, and she's, they're like, "Fall." She goes, "That's right. Does anybody know the other name?" So, there's always going to be 5, 6 kids that raise their hand after she says that, and she calls on them, and they go, "Fall." Yeah. She goes, "Right. Does anybody know the other name?" "Sarah, fall." Right. So we got to do that for about 6 more people. Right. So after everybody does it, I finally raise my hand. She looks at me. She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Autumn." she looks at me all crazy, and she goes, that's right." She was super shocked that I knew. And I remember the teacher kind of looked down over her glasses to see who said that, right? Mm-hmm. She asked me, she starts quizzing me, asking me a series of other questions, and she starts, somehow we get into the with a bill, it becomes a law and all kind of stuff. And she's asking me, I was like, "No, it's got to go through." And she's just sitting, and I'm like, and they're talking to my mom. They do parent teacher conference, and my mom comes in and they go, "Mrs. Bowman, we just can't understand. Bobby is so smart. He tests in the 10th percentile of the whole state, but when it comes to his classwork, he's just..." So my mom asked me, "Well, why is that?" So I'm like, "Well, the stuff that I learned, I generally learn from Sesame Street, Schoolhouse Rock."
Oh yeah, Bill becomes a law, totally. Schoolhouse Rock.
Right. And she's like, "Why?" I go, "Because of the way they're telling me. It's a song, it's not just, this is this, and this is that, remember it, damn it."
Yeah, you don't want some old crotchety old man telling you about how a bill becomes a law. You want the piece of paper to sing to you.
Right. So when I hear, "I'm only a bill, yes, I'm only..." Now I'm like, you know what I mean? So they didn't, so now I had to deal with them telling my mom that I'm in this percentile of smarts in the state. Now they made it so hard for me, because now I could be in a car singing my favorite song, and my mama would turn the song off and go, "You need to know, you need to know how to sing that schoolwork like that. You remember all these songs, but you can't remember that schoolwork." So they fucked me. You know what I mean? So anything after they told my mom that I was smart, she felt like I was just not doing it because I was lazy. She didn't understand that if it's too quiet, I can't focus. So when I play games, Salty, I have to have the TV on, another TV on.
Oh, yeah.
The way we're talking now, you've kind of got to be doing something else to really get in your groove. Well, in school, everything is predicated on being fucking quiet the whole time.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Raise your hand. The only time you cannot be quiet is when you're broken off into your groups. Recess.
Yeah, recess.
Right. Everything It has to be. So if it's too quiet, my mind begins to wander. So that was school to me. So me learning to lay next to the TV because I couldn't watch it was me, I guess, putting myself in a place where my creative ability was just growing. I can say.
So yeah, no, that's
this, man. Let me tell y'all.
That's really interesting. Does chat have any other specific questions for Boogie? Because we still got plenty of time, but like, I just figure. Here we go. Well, I guess we should probably talk about this a little bit after I just get through this little section. Okay, that was the fastest time I did that shit. I fucked up, but whatever. Alright, so I guess what we should talk about.
Sad World.
What was that?
Somebody asked if I knew about Sad World, Noah's channel.
Oh yeah?
Not plugging it, my bad. But yeah, I know about it, sorry. Sorry about that.
I wanted to, I guess, like, since we're getting kind of like into the nitty-gritty now, I wanted to ask you about like, so we talked about it a little bit before when you kind of got into Hollywood, you were kind of like doing your own thing, and you eventually auditioned for iCarly. That happened eventually. Like, so they just liked you, or like how did you become like a regular? Do you know?
I think, like I said, it has a lot to do with. You sometimes hear people say cliche things like, you know, opportunity meets preparation. You know, that's true. Because everything that I had prepared myself for prior put me in a place where I could walk into a room and be silly.
Yeah.
You know, so I think once I got the job, it can't tell. It's funny. I had a conversation with Dan Schneider a little while back, and I was actually just thanking him for giving me that opportunity. And he said something that was very key. He said it wasn't not only that he gave me the opportunity, but it was what I did with it. Carly, he could best describe it as the perfect storm. It was the perfect cast with the perfect writing at the perfect time in culture and society, because it went from a kid show to a family show, and where kids watched it with their families instead of just, being something that the kids watch. So I think from what he said there just put me in a place of thinking that, yeah, maybe he liked what I had done, because he gets a chance to see all the stuff before it airs. So maybe he liked how I showed up on camera, or maybe he liked my timing. Who knows? All I know is you put me in a situation, my job is to kill it.
And you fucking did. I think everybody can attest to that who's watched that show.
Thank you.
So I have to ask, because like, I guess since we're on this topic now, were there any like standout moments on set for you at the time? Was there any like moments where you kind of look back on like that was hilarious, or like just stuff that happened maybe on camera or off camera that you really liked?
The most memorable thing for me about that show had to be I Meet the First Lady.
Oh yeah, Michelle Obama was on the show.
That's right. Before anything, I'm black. Right? So to see first black guy, the president, is incredible. Not just for me, but for my mom, my grandma. So to be in Hollywood, have an opportunity to act alongside the first black first lady. Oh my, that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah, that was probably crazy cool.
Yeah. So then you couple it with, I want to always. I'm a talk show host. No, I'm inquisitive. No, I'm an interviewer. So it gave me an opportunity on set to have conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so we're just chilling on because she was so cool. It wasn't like when we weren't shooting a scene and she was in the scene that she was all by, off by herself or surrounded by Secret Service. There was a lot of Secret Service there that day.
I mean, I bet
it was crazy, bro.
even on the iCarly set, it's probably like
Yeah, like she had some of her Secret Service people were in the scene.
oh my gosh, yeah.
So, to be able to stand there and talk to her, because I kind of felt a certain way. So, because imagine me wanting to be this king and talk, and understand I had at this point, I had already had meetings with different networks about doing my own show.
Mm-hmm.
So when those meetings happen, you're excited because it's like your dreams are coming true.
Yeah.
So what you try not to do in Hollywood is allow the disappointment to take away moments of hope, moments where you should be excited. I often hear people say that, well, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to jinx it. Man, there ain't no jinxing. It's either gonna happen or it's not.
And I think everybody's much better off faking it until you make it, like you said.
Right. But if you think about, if somebody says this might be a possibility that we're gonna give you your own talk show, okay? And you don't want to not be happy until it happens, because you'll never get the moment back where you first got the news that it was even a possibility. It's a moment. No, you don't want to leapfrog that moment to just be cool because I don't want to jinx it. It's either gonna happen or it's not, but you'll never be able to have a happy moment back. So I said that to say,
this one's my favorite.
forgot what we were talking about.
That happens a lot of time on here. Sometimes like I'm feeling it and I'm really getting into something and I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck am I talking about?
What was I saying?
You were building to something and I was waiting on it.
Talking about Michelle Obama, what I was talking to her about.
Just a few seconds left.
Think that you were gonna potentially get your own thing going.
Oh, that's right. So at this point, by the time Michelle Obama gets on the show, I was already in a place of hoping that my own project, because this is why you're working, so you get notoriety, so that way people are, when you want to do something, people go, oh, okay, yeah, I know that guy. Oh yeah, that show's doing really well. So now when I'm going, this is my segue, I want to do this. People are taking meetings, so they're listening to these ideas that I have. So this is a possibility. So when Michelle Obama, by the time President First Lady Obama came on the show, a lot of those meetings had died. So I was feeling in a way like, damn, we got our first black president and I'm not even in a position yet to be able to have him on a cool show and just sit down and talk to him, because the questions that I would have asked were different than the questions that were being asked from the other platforms. Like, I would have wanted to know, Mr. President, is there a sound system in the house? Are you guys playing any Al Green in the mornings? Like, you kind of want to know. Not to be personal, but it's like, are the bedrooms like creepy or are they like kind of modern? Have they kind of made them kind of current? What's the food like? Do you guys get a chance to eat like what you're comfortable with, or is it like a menu? Are you guys free to roam around the house, the whole house, nothing but the house? So help you God, when ain't nobody there? Or are you kind of only able to go to this part? Like, these are kind of questions that I wanted to know. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I didn't get to that. So when we were kind of like on set, that was my moment. So I'm sitting there with the salt and I'm like, oh, when did it dawn on you guys? You did it. You were the president and first lady. Like, when did it dawn on you that you, like, the White House, you're living here? She goes, wow, that's a great question. She goes, it probably took a month. She said, because we were doing so much running around and so much press, we didn't get a chance to really sit down yet. She said, but it probably took a month for us to really go, wow, like, we live here now. Like we're the, so it was that kind of stuff that I just kind of wanted the world to, because when I used to watch Arsenio, it felt like I was there. It felt like I was listening to my uncle and his friends talk about stuff, and my uncle just so happened to know everybody. And it was kind of like, whoa, wow, that happened,
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to be that guy. And if you think about it, there still isn't that guy. I've always wanted to be that kind of guy that, the conversation that I had with people was just different. So that was so cool to me because I got a chance to ask her something that I would have asked if I would have had that does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you were kind of like living out your own personal dream in a way, in that sense. And like, I have a question. Did you get to ask her anything else? Was there any standout interactions?
It was, I think the thing that stood out the most is how cool she was to just conversation. Like, I remember, if you guys remember the random dancing, she wasn't supposed to be in that scene. She said, oh, wait, you guys are doing random dancing? Oh, Sasha Malia would kill me if I didn't do the random dancing scene. So we added, can't say we, Dan added her to that scene. And I actually, in that episode, I wasn't in that episode, Salty.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't booked to work that next week. And I remember I came up to Dan and I was like, bro, first black president ever? His wife is gonna be here and you don't have the only black guy on the show on that episode? And he just started laughing. He goes, oh shit, huh? I go, man, he goes, you want to be on it? I go, man, do you think I should be on it? He was like, yeah, you're right. So we kind of laughed about it,
That's hysterical. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm shocked that you weren't even in the episode originally. That's shocking to me.
I mean, listen, you never know. Could have only had clearance for this many people. You just never know.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't ever like to go, because give you some props. Let me give Dan some props. Here's a guy that was writing 3 shows at the same time and would be on the set of our show directing our show while having his laptop on his lap writing episodes of Victorious. What?
It's true. All those crew, they were all working on all different shows. It's crazy.
All different shows. Schneider's, he was writing all of that simultaneously. How creative you got to be to do that. I did talk myself my way into meeting the first lady. What'd I tell you? BBB 3 Mig just said it. Salt, you got to fake it till you make it, man.
Exactly.
I might have guilted Dan Schneider into putting me in that episode. So
listen,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. If you had to guilt the guy into getting you into an episode, then you do it.
Right. This is my career, man. I mean, to me, this dude has already made it. I'm still trying to get on. So if I gotta look at you in your eyes and go, really, bro? Really, bro? You don't have me, the black guy, me. If I gotta do that, okay.
I mean, like, hey, you got in. You got in at the end of the day.
At least try. At least try.
So what was there, like, any, like, I guess, like, did you ask any other, like, questions to her, or did you only get to ask that one?
No, I mean, we spoke. What I wasn't trying to do was talk the lady's ear off.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that. It was you're probably like kind of tiptoeing, like, I want to make sure I'm not crossing any lines here.
Not even that. It's just I knew that she wasn't in a position to be like, all right, bro, that's enough questions. And besides, you don't want to make anybody ever feel like, all right, bro, that's enough questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you just, again, I'm the black guy on the show. I was working week to week for 2, like 3, 4, who knows how long. So I'm just kind of, staying to my, I'm not trying to be in everybody's face. I'm just doing my job to keep my job.
Mm-hmm. So I find that, like, so interesting. Like, I almost totally forgot that they had that episode of the show in the first place. And to know that you kind of got your way on there just by kind of like cheesing it and be like, hey, come on. Like, the idea of that's like crazy to me.
I couldn't understand. I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, okay, Dan's gonna have this is gonna be incredible. I wonder what he gonna have me doing on this. Okay, he gonna have it. And then my agent wouldn't hit me with a schedule. I'm like, hey, what's up with the? You usually get the schedule while you're still working the week prior.
Yeah.
So by Wednesday, when I hadn't gotten the next week's schedule, I had to say something to Dan. But it wasn't like, yo, bro. No, not like that. Like, it's Dan's show. So he and I had the kind of relationship that I could kind of, giggle about it to him, but in a way of going, I obviously ain't going to be bringing it up unless I want to be on it.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Be cool, not be on it, but I'm saying it in a way like, what's up with that? And the way he reacted, I honestly believe that it wasn't intentional. It wasn't like okay. No, it was like oh shit, like that.
So like you seem like to an extent you were kind of like, I guess, like, I wouldn't say close, but like friendly enough with like the cast and people. Do you still talk to any of them, or do you still?
Oh, those were like, let's say I was like Uncle Boog, cool Uncle Boog.
Mm-hmm. Like you were like a cool uncle type person.
Because we're kids. I started on the show. So I remember I took Jeanette to Six Flags for the first time. We were on set one day talking. She said she had never been to Six Flags. I was telling them how Six Flags can't compare an amusement park in Ohio called Cedar Point. I used to work at. And people were like, oh, Cedar Point, I heard of Cedar Point. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you guys know. And Jeanette's like, I've never even been to Six Flags. And it was like, everybody just stopped and looked at her. I was like, don't trip. I'll take you to Six Flags. She's like, for real? So me and Jeanette, literally, there's pictures of me and Jeanette like strolling around Six Flags, jumping on rides, doing this. She was more incognito than me because she's a bigger star than me. This was her show. She was like one of the staple of the show. I came on to the show after the cast was already a cast.
Yeah, they were already like established at that point.
Right. So, her going to a place like Six Flags without a sense of anonymity, she can't enjoy it.
I feel like, in a sense, like, once you get rid of the bandana, like, you could probably still recognize who you are, but it's probably a little bit more difficult because people associate it so much with, like, the costume.
Right, and it's like that's the key. So, you don't ever want to look like you're just hunting for people to notice who you are. So people recognize you, they recognize you. So me having that bandana on, like I'll wear a bandana at home. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But when I leave the house, something that I'm very conscientious of. Like, you'll never catch me with like a bandana and some random orange shirt on ever. Not because I think it's or anything like that. It's like Santa Claus walking down the street with a Santa Claus outfit on in July. It's like, bro, you just want people to know you Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Like why are you dressed like that right now, bro?
Yeah, that's just
like,
first off, fuck Santa Claus. I said it. Second off, no, like you don't want to look like you're fishing for attention, is what you're saying at that point.
Right. And you can't, I learned at a very young age, you can't explain everything to everybody. You have to immediately think about the people that's the first thing they think of. Man, look at this dude out here with the bandana on. We know you from the show, homeboy. We know. Like, it's like, it's those people. And it's like, from the show, what the hell is he talking about? Like, oh, I got this damn bandana on my head. Like, you know what I mean? So that never happened to me, but I'm just saying we all know those types of people.
I was gonna say, did you ever have any sorts of those experiences where like you like met somebody who recognized you and you're just kind of like, I don't really want to do this right now.
Oh,
not really feeling this.
Not.
Really?
No. Oh no, listen to me, man. Anybody that tells you that bullshit is full of shit. Tell you something. Now, there's a couple things that we need to get straight.
By all means, go ahead. You have the floor.
One, part of what we do as artists and entertainers to entertain.
Yeah.
So to say that one of us is in a place where we don't want to be bothered, there's two sides of that. Here's what I mean. I've often heard people say, this is what they signed up for. Oh, whoa. It's a job. And
Yeah.
anybody you know is supposed to be trying to be good at their job.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're good at your job, that means people are going to take notice of your job, right? So if just because I'm trying to be the best that I can be at my job doesn't mean, and I've become largely popular, doesn't mean that I should just be open to whatever people want to do or say to me whenever they want to say it.
Exactly.
No.
There's limits to that.
Of course, but I'm also not gonna be the guy that's ever gonna say that, no, I worked hard, bro, to get to a place where not only people recognized me based upon my work, but the industry recognized not only was I doing good work, but I was doing good business. I was showing up on time or had any type of incidents. These are all types of things that are business. So to me, to be in a place where a show that is Emmy award winning is having me back regularly, and when I leave this 9-to-5 job, because that's essentially what it is, and we can talk about, Miranda going to college after if you want, but essentially when you leave this 9-to-5 job, somebody recognizes your work after work to a point that they want to take a picture or an autograph or have a conversation. That's incredible.
It probably feels great to have somebody be like, yeah, I love your stuff.
There you go. Right? So I'm always open to chopping and having conversation, and because if I don't want to, then I'm an only child. I know how to go in the house and close the doors and turn the TV on and nobody will see me.
I mean, I guess like to a certain extent, you probably think about it like you were once that type of person too. Like you watched plenty of TV back in the day, and like you had people that if you met when you were a kid, you'd probably be like, oh my God.
That's why I say when people say things like, oh, I don't do it for this. I don't do it for the fame. You're a liar. You are a liar. And here's why that person is the biggest liar. Because all of us are actors. That's the first thing we learn as kids, is how to act based on the situation. You don't act like that in church. You don't act like that when your parents are here. You say things with your friends. If somebody's mom or dad walks in, you don't act like that now. That's all how we want something as a kid. We used to cry. We want to get our brother or sister in trouble. We act like he hurt. Ow, acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of us just chose to go and get money for it. We're all actors, right?
Yeah.
If I decide to allow somebody to give me compensation to go and act like some words that they wrote on paper, okay, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So when people say they don't do it for notoriety, yeah, you do, because if you want to be successful, that means people are gonna have to see you.
Exactly.
If people are seeing you, that means you're successful. So you just said you didn't do it for notoriety or the money. So what are you doing here? We're trying to get a job. We're trying to feed our family. We're trying to move into that house in the hills. This guy's sitting in the audition room taking jobs for people, and what are you doing here? That to me, that's what I think when people say that. Well, what are you doing here? Move. Oh, go to Germany and act. You know what I mean?
Yo, I hear that acting scene is great in Germany.
Nobody's clamoring to see a German film that I know of. Go over there and do it. Get out of the way. Like, why are you in the way of everybody else? We trying to eat off of this. I'm trying to eat off of this. I'm trying to put myself in a good place. You know what I mean? You over here just doing it cuz? I hate people like that. That means you're not really going hard. You just lucked up on it. Oh, get out of here. I'm not doing it for the money. I don't do this for the fame. Yes, you do. Shut up.
Okay. So moving on a little bit, because I wanted to like kind of get more to the present day, I guess. or at least start to. I wanted to ask, like, so what was your reaction, like, once that iCarly show, once it ended, like, what was that like at that point? Once things were over and you were like, oh, it's over now. All right, well, on to the next thing, like, you know.
Well, it was sad, man, because it's for all intents and purposes, Salty, you gotta give it up to those kids, man. Like, let's break it down for a minute. Miranda, Jeanette, Nathan, even Noah. You got a 9-to-5 job as a kid, right? Miranda, being the star of that show, I mean, she had to be there maybe 7 a.m. So as a star, she's on set from 7 a.m. She has breakfast there. She has lunch there. There's a tutor that comes in and teaches school for 1-2 hours a day to her. She goes back on set, continues to work. And then she leaves with her mom, who's also her manager. Then she goes home where she lives with her mom and dad. Next day, she gets up and does the exact same thing 5 days a week. She does that for maybe 12 weeks, however many episodes we do, they would have done. Now, she's doing this for years, right? Mm-hmm. There's no recess, right? When the weekend comes, so who are the people that you're hanging out with? You've been on a studio lot for the last 5 days. Only people that you really know like that are people that the other kids on the show. You don't really want to hang out with them on the weekends, or maybe you do. So imagine that. There's no school dance, no prom.
That must be the worst.
Imagine there's no prom and you're one of the most popular girls in the world. You're prom queen, hands down. No crown for you. It's a job, right? So yeah, you're getting money. You're making all kinds of money. What's your social life like? What do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it must be like kind of crippling in a sense to be literally like one of the most iconic figures to like children, and not have like a solid, like, you know, like a school dance or like a lot of friends from school. Like, that must be like horrible.
Friday night football game, hang out at McDonald's after the game. Oh no, this person's family's out of town, huge party over there. Where you work, you have a job as a little kid. You got a job, which means after work, you're gonna go home, get something to eat, hang out, and then you're gonna take your ass to bed. Why? Because you gotta work in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? So you got immediate responsibilities. Now, by the time you get 18 years old, biggest star in the world. To who? How do you get out of that? You keep going. How do you get out of that? You've seen Miranda in another show as another girl. Yeah, maybe. How long would have taken you to do that? Mm-hmm. Not see her as Carly Shay. So now that's risky. Now you put her in a situation where she's gonna play this person, but what if it's not believable because people can't get over the fact that that's iCarly? Not to mention, college is dope.
It is dope.
You know what I mean? Think about it. You're the most popular girl in the world, and all of a sudden now you just go pop out of nowhere and go to USC. Come on, those other girls don't have a chance.
At that rate, like I could only imagine like how like just imagining being a child acting star that is so well known to like that generation of people that you end up going to college with. Like, I can only imagine. That's like insane.
What's crazy about it? We think about it probably different, Salt, as dudes. You know why? I talked to one of my girlfriends, and she was saying, you know, the whole resting bitch face thing, right?
Yeah.
She was saying, you know where that comes from? I was like, and, educate me, because I love talking to women. You know, I'm a guy. My job is to know women. Right? So I just love sitting and listening. He said, most pretty women been pretty for a long time. Right? And I'm like, okay, I get it. She goes, so even when you just want to be one of the boys as a kid, they all of a sudden start looking at you weird because you're pretty. Just when the whole, oh my God, I'm confused, and when they're trying to hit on you and they're go, oh my God, I'm so confused. Oh my God, guys. She goes, once that stops working, now RBF comes in. And I said, but why? She goes, because here's what happens. Once guys start to meet you, they immediately assume that because they consider you pretty, that you get a certain level of attention. So now, in typical guy form, this guy wants to be different. So he thinks immediately because you're pretty, all these guys are probably super nice to you and will do whatever you say. So his job is to now be the dickhead to you.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I hate that shit.
So, right. So she's basically saying, if I put on a don't fuck with me face, it puts those dickheads in a place to don't talk to me, dude. I went, word. Okay. Imagine having to deal with that. So imagine having to navigate that throughout your day.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like I couldn't even imagine. It must be like annoying as fuck to have to deal with that all the time.
You gotta walk around with a scowl on your face because you don't want dudes coming up to you being a dickhead to you because they think you're pretty. Like, how ironic. Like, think about the irony in that. I'm gonna be a dick to her because she thinks she's hot. Actually, I think she's hot, and so does probably everyone else. So let me be a dick because everybody's probably nice to her. Yeah, that'll get her. That's how I'll get her.
Yeah.
What?
I have plenty of friends that have talked to me about this, like how they literally have to like kind of put up their defenses when going out because it's like they don't want people coming on them or shit like that. They just want to live their goddamn lives.
Right. And you know what? You know what's funny? I called one of my homegirls out. She was like, "Oh my God, guys are so annoying." I said, "No, that's not true. The guys that you're not attracted to are annoying." See, if you're not attracted to him, he's annoying because all these guys that you're not attracted to keep trying to talk to you. That'd be annoying to me too. There was a bunch of dudes, and it was Brad Pitt in here and all these other dudes, and they were all trying to talk to you. Oh my God, it's the best event ever. I get it. It's got to be super tough to be a woman. It's got to be, man. You always got to be on guard. Always.
Oh yeah,
always.
yeah.
10th of a minute left.
Yo, and I guess this segues into this. I want to ask, like, what have you been up to lately? Like what's been going on with you lately? And also, how is the? Well, I guess we could get to that after. But like, how is the whole coronavirus thing been going for you? Everything's shutting down for a bit.
Listen, I've been playing video games since I was a little kid. So
Felt that.
it was one of the things that my mom did to keep me in the house when she wasn't there. You know, my first system was a system called Intellivision. It was like the Arrival to Atari because it talked.
Yeah, I have heard of those guys. Yeah.
So I actually had one of those. So, you know, I went all the way from there to, you know, Nintendo 64, the Sega Genesis, the TurboGrafx 16, Sega Dreamcast, like every platform and place. So I've been always on the game. So lately I've been like, you know what? Let me start streaming these video games. So outside of just obviously creating content, still curating nightlife. Well, can't really do nightlife events anymore, but I curated a lot of events, you know, come in and curate the vision to different establishments based upon, you know, what they want to do. Just creative. Like I said, it's in Los Angeles. If you have talent and there are things that you can do, you know, I'm a Swiss Army knife. I saw someone in the chat said, a jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that all day, because if I'm a master of one thing, but they're not hiring for that one thing, and I don't know how to do anything else, then I'm fucked. I'll be a jack of all trades all day, because right now we're in a place where if you were only able to do this particular thing and then they shut it down based upon our circumstances, well, that's tough. So it behooves you to, it behooves you to have other things that you can do. So, you know, I got the gaming PC over here. We got the dual 24-inch monitors. You know, I'm building my Twitch channel. I'm trying to build my YouTube channel. You know, and I'm really going. I'm striving to be like you, Salty. I see you over here sitting humbly with your 20,000+ fans. And, I see you over here humble brag. Big shouts out to the dude Salty DK Dan. Stop playing with me. Come on.
Oh my God, come on, man.
Also, make sure you guys sub to my guy Salty. Just make sure you guys are subbing right now to my guy Salty. I'm gonna tell you why you need to sub to Salty right now. That show ended almost a decade ago. You guys can search and scour the internet, and I'll give you guys $1,000 if you can find another interview that I've ever done like this. You can find anybody else that says that they got me, have a conversation with them about this or anything else like this on any type of platform like this. I'll give you $1,000. If you can't say that, then I need you to subscribe to Salty DK Dan right now. This is official content. What you mean? What you talk about, Salt? Think about everything I just told you. How I got to where I got to. I wasn't acting like I didn't know I was good, wasn't good at what I knew I was. I walked into Mexico and said, "Do you have a microphone?" I don't speak Spanish. What?
All right, okay.
So Salty, if you reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I'm interested in doing this," and I said, "Cool," you done something that other people weren't able to do. Oh, be proud of that. Like I said, subscribe to the kid Salty right now, because we haven't even talked about the tiger and the monkey. We're gonna leave that for next time. The only way we're gonna talk about that, Salty, is if you let me know that you hit your subscriber limit.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Gonna make it wait. Oh yeah, and subscribe to your boy too. I'm in here, Boogie Wonderland with 2 D's at the end. I see my thing going crazy. Shout out to everybody that's following me. I'm trying to get to 500 followers right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm low.
Hannah, blast that link in the chat if you can. Hannah's one of my mods. Blast that link in the chat.
Big shouts to Hannah. I gotta give shouts to Hannah. Shouts out to Hannah. Hannah was a big advocate for you, Salty. You know, Hannah vouched for you. Hannah vouched for you. Hannah comes through my stream often and shows love, raids me. I appreciate Hannah. Big shouts to Hannah. Hannah, everybody give it up to Hannah right now. Hannah.
Oh yeah, Hannah.
Hannah right now. Hannah. Big shouts to all the followers. Yeah, it's going crazy. It's going nuts. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. What I might do, Salt?
Yeah?
I might have to leave it up to the chat, man. I do a lot of gaming on my channel. You guys let me know if you guys want to do more talks like this, because I'd love to host you, Salt.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'd love to host you on my channel, have a conversation about, you know, your growth. You said you've been doing this for about 6 years, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to have a conversation, especially me. My mom told me something when I was a kid that I've always kept with me.
Yeah.
And it, don't ever feel like you're too grown to listen. Don't ever feel like you're too grown to listen. And as you get older, try and lessen the curve of how long it takes you to catch on to trends. So as I'm sitting here on your channel, proud of you for what you've done. And like you said, you know, you've done this over the course of about 6 years. I'd be really interested in having you on my channel, man, and just chopping it with you and seeing what your journey was like.
Of course, I'd love to. That sounds great. Sounds like a fun time.
But yeah, and Salty, they over here. Hey, Salty, they hyping you. They telling you need to do a podcast, bro. You know, listen.
I definitely this stream has been really fun. Like I've been having a really fun time just like talking, listening, playing some games. And I didn't mention it earlier, but hey, personal best, everybody, got even lower this time. You know, maybe next time I might actually get this. But I was gonna. I don't want to cut it off too early, but I did want to start to wind down a little bit since we have been streaming for a hot minute. And I wanted to say, like, I didn't talk about it earlier, but like I do a little bit of like not really acting, more like voiceover stuff like that in my spare time. You know, amongst like, you know, college, all that crap. But I really, really appreciate you coming on here, Boogie. This was a great time. I hope that, you know, we could probably like do this again sometime. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, you're my guy now, bro. You're my man, Blue. You're my boy, Blue. Come on now. You know I got you. I've enjoyed this, man. Like I said, I was excited to do this. You know, we had some tech difficulties yesterday, and I told you, once I say I'm in, you got me, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because your word is your bond. And I never, like I said, I don't wear bandanas, so I never want to come across like I'm feeling myself to a point that I'm too. No, bro, that's work. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody else the same way you guys appreciate me. Because me standing in the mirror acting like Tebow, I look crazy. It needed to be on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, you know, like I said, man, I really do appreciate you coming on here, giving me the time of day. It means the world. I'm sure everybody else in chat can vouch for that. They probably had a really fun time. So yeah.
Appreciate everybody. Big shouts out to Hannah again.
Oh yeah, and, Hannah does voiceover too, and Hannah's really good at that.
We need to do some. We need to make some. We need to listen. What are we doing? I mean, you're an actor and Hannah's an actor and I'm an actor. Like, what are we doing? Like, we need to do some dopeness, put together some dope sauce, as I call it.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of sauce are you thinking?
I mean, okay, so we can do something like I can write something, right?
Oh, yeah?
Send it to you and Hannah, right? We can really get in the chat, or however you want to do it. We can act it out.
That'd be fun. That'd be cool.
We can act out scenes. You know what? That's what we should do. That's what we should do. We should get scenes and act out scenes.
That'd be pretty
right?
dope.
I think that would be fun, and really don't break character. Really go in and act out some fucking scenes, but you gotta know your lines, Salty. I don't have to tell you. You're a professional.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me.
I'm disrespecting you now. That's my bad. Sorry about that. Hey man, I'm always here. Let me know. Reach out to me. I appreciate the opportunity to chop with you and your people, and let's put something together again, man.
Yeah, I'd love to. At the very least, we got to do some more of this. You know, we had a really fun time tonight. I'm really glad to have had you on, and you know, again, like, thank you so much for joining us.
Most welcome. I'm always here. Reach out to your boy. Shouts out to everybody that followed me. Big shouts out to everybody that just rated my follow, hit my follow button. I appreciate it. Your boy goes on there randomly.
Yeah.
Go on randomly, but when I'm on. Usually got a TV show in the background, talking shit, giggling. You know what I mean? But come through. Maybe I'll do something else on the channel other than play games. Maybe I will even just have an iCarly chop talk. And then bring on people like Salty, and then Salt will bring you on in and let you talk about the impact that the show had on you and what your favorite show or episode was and who your favorite character. We need to do some of that on the channel. So Salt, how about I leave it up to you? And if your people say that that's something they want to do, the next time you and I connect, we'll do it on the channel, and me, you, Hannah, whoever else, we can just chop talk iCarly.
Yo, that sounds great. I would love to do that at some point.
With it. Let me know, man. Thanks a lot again.
All right. Well, we'll see you later, Boogie.
Take care now, brother.
Take care. And that was Boogie, everybody. Boogie, Tebow from iCarly. He's an awesome, awesome dude. I had a lot of fun tonight. I think that everybody in the chat can vouch. We had a pretty fun time tonight. Don't worry, guys. I know a lot of people are being like, you better put this on the VOD channel. Yeah, it's gonna go up. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna go up right away, but it's gonna be available on the Twitch channel if you want to go back and you want to watch it through. Eventually, yes, I'm planning on putting this up on the main channel as well, along with some new stuff that I've been working on. Bro, this stream fucking flipped my day around. Dude! I'm so glad. Like, I'm really, really happy about that. This took a little bit to put together, but I'm so glad that we did. And hey, look at that. Got another personal best. So yeah. And everybody's saying like, oh, Salty, you should put together a podcast. You know what? Maybe I fucking will. Maybe I fucking will eventually. I've always wanted to. I have plenty of people that say that they'd be on a podcast with me, so, you know, not gonna spoil who, but, you know, eventually that might be a thing. If I have some extra time on my hands after graduation, which might end up happening. So, yeah, no, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Streams aren't gonna be back regularly for a little bit. I'm still kind of working on putting together some videos for the channel. I'm gonna be real with you guys real quick. The channel has not been uploading videos for 2 months. I realize that. The reason being is that I'm working on some really, really big stuff that might go up next month. I can't say what day yet. We finished the scripting, we're doing the recording. It's gonna be great. I'm really, really stoked about it, and I think that you guys will like it too. It's a little bit different from what I normally do, but it's been a long time coming, and it may or may not have something to do with a little bit of what we did tonight. Yeah, so also, once I post this big video that I've been hinting at, I'm gonna do weekly uploads again for like 10 weeks. 10 weeks straight, new video every week. Gaming stuff, scripted stuff, more have you heard about videos. We're prepping it all now. We got like 5 different people on the editing team now. Beyond me. The whole reason I took this break was so that I could focus on making some really, really fucking fun shit. And I'm so stoked about it. The stuff that we have so far, I've been freaking out over. I'm so excited about it. Yeah, 10 weeks straight of uploads. Fucking quote me on that. And you know, it might be even, by the time that we upload it, those 10 weeks might expand onto like 12 weeks or even 15 weeks straight. My new mentality with the channel has been this. I'm just gonna make videos and post them whenever they're done. After I post this really big video, I'm gonna have a lot of shit on the backlog that I'm just gonna be posting like crazy. And who knows, maybe you'll see some double uploads each week. I'm really, really stoked about it. Also, Boogie got 500 followers? Yo, hello. Did we get Boogie to 500 followers? He deserves it. Followers? He deserves it. Oh, right. There we go. There we go. 500 followers. Look at that. Oh my god. We did it, guys. Check that out. Big congrats to Boogie. Where can we follow Boogie? Here, I'll put it in the chat for you. What a fucking sweet dude. Like 12 weeks? Yeah, I'm not even shitting you. I got okay, I'm not fucking around when I say this. I got like 3 scripts like near completion already of like stuff that I'm working on, and it's like really like it's some of my favorite stuff I've ever worked on. I really like working on Have You Heard About videos, and I really like working on gaming stuff, but I have this passion for scripted stuff that I just haven't gotten to express that much. And the stuff that we've been making is so fucking dope. I'm so stoked about it. Salty, if you don't do this with the entire cast of iCarly, I'm unsubscribing. Don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, hey, you know, you never know. But yeah. Let me, if you want to follow Boogie, if you follow my Twitter, I retweeted something from him just recently. Here, I'll plug his Twitter in the chat as well. Oh god, did I miss this? Okay, Challenger Keanu, my dude. Yes, you missed it. Good news is it's going up on the Twitch immediately after we stop streaming. And I'm also going to be re-uploading it to the second channel. If anybody doesn't know, it's called Salty's Video Dump. You can find it by going on my channel and then going to the channel's other channels section. It's right there. Or you could just look up Salty's Video Dump and it should pop up. Salty, why won't you take my request of screaming Baba Booey? Okay, Baba Booey! There you go. There it is. Salty, thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. Your videos make me laugh so much. I watched all of your videos more than 20 times, and I mean all of them. Thanks, man. I really, really appreciate that. It fucks me up when people are so kind to me. But thank you. I really appreciate that. And like I said, the stuff that I'm working on is for you guys. At the end of the day, it's for you guys. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but I think that it's some stuff that I've always wanted to try, and I know that you guys are really gonna like. Like, I'm not shitting. So yeah, you deserve the kindness, baby. We're all here. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew the Lark, everybody. He's one of the new people. One of the new people on the team. I don't have anything to give him yet to edit, but it's gonna happen. Once I start streaming a little bit more regularly, we're gonna have a lot more stuff to go. When we finish the big video is when I'm gonna start having a consistent streaming schedule again. I'm really excited about it. I'm thinking that I might be streaming every other day once I'm ready to do that. Every other day, more shit. So if you have any game recommendations, shoot them my way. I'd be glad to. After you upload the big thing, I'm going to tweet something really cool for you. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. So yeah, if you have any game suggestions, you can shoot them to me on Twitter with like a reply. I'm glad you're really enjoying yourself and that you've got a lot of cool stuff planned. Just make sure you take time for yourself. We'll gladly wait. You know what? It's been a little bit difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I've been working on the last semester of my college. I've been working on my internship. Actually, you know, I should tell you guys about that. I have an internship with this channel called DA Games. They're a bunch of really, really cool people. I love working with them. I don't know if you guys know, the guy, Will, who is the creator, he did a song, like, I think people most know him for that, like, a lot of, like, video game-based songs. Like, he did a song about Benny and the Ink Machine that people are really, really into. So I've been interning for those guys for this semester. They're such nice people. I really, really appreciate them giving me the opportunity to just work with them and, like, learn some stuff. So yeah, I've been working really hard. I've been working on the semester, the internship, been helping my family during COVID, and I've been, most importantly, working on new videos. And the reason that they've been taking so long is because I've just been busy with everything. But I assure you, they will be worth the wait. Shit has gone on full autopilot with a lot of the work that's being done. A lot of stuff is getting done when I'm not able to work, and a lot of stuff is getting done when I can work. I did a lot of, I learned how to use Google Excel, like, you know, like the spreadsheet thing. I have a whole schedule of videos. It's crazy. I don't think I talked about it on Twitter, but I had to fucking learn how to use spreadsheets so I could figure out how to schedule all this fucking work. But yeah, I really, really appreciate you guys. It's streams like this that remind me why I do this in the first place. Like, this was such a blast. I had such a fun time. And you know what? Who knows? We'll be seeing more of this stuff again soon. Yo, Salty, I got something I'm working on for you. I should have it out on Tuesday. Oh my god, yeah. Yo, hit me up, Cade. Hit me up. I'm really excited. That sounds exciting to me. That's dope. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's been a while on Twitch. Bear with me for a little bit. It's going to be a little tiny bit before streams come back regularly, but once they do, we'll have some new videos coming out. I'm really stoked. I know I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry, but I'm just really excited. But yeah. High five, everybody. All right. So I will talk to you all later. All right? Have a good night, everybody. Love you all. Hearts. Hearts. I'm sorry if you donated during the stream and I couldn't read it. I'm sorry. Or if you followed or you subbed or you gave me any messages. Those will be back next stream. Just wanted to make sure I gave plenty of room to Boogie to talk. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Love you.